Welcome to Anime Real Talk, where we share our honest opinions on anime, Japan, news, and much more. It doesn't matter if you're new to anime, if you're a casual or a complete weeb. Join the conversation here. I'm Tauha, and I'm joined by...
Russ?
And ramen.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, it's going well, man. The new Call of Duty update came out. I've been banging that out. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. But
Yeah, I don't really like it.
Yeah, it's a acquired taste, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. I'm on holiday now, so no work,
Nice.
just relaxing. Well-earned relax.
Good. Yeah, I'm going to be getting a week off as well. How about you, Ramen?
Only a
What's
week?
good?
You only
Yeah,
get
just a
off?
week.
Damn,
Yeah, just a
boy.
week.
Holy shit. Well, for me, it's same. The weather's kind of getting a bit colder, chillier, to be honest, recently. I don't know if you guys have noticed. It's been,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting
like,
cold,
it's
man.
definitely been getting colder. Like,
We're in the thick of winter now, boys.
yep.
Yeah.
It's a late as well. I'm having a hard time getting used to this weather coming in so late, because usually it comes in
Yeah, it's usually
end
colder
of
earlier.
end of October. It starts getting like
Yeah.
super cold.
Yeah,
Like
I
this
think it's
year-
also because we haven't really been outside. So
like-
Oh,
we
that's
don't
true.
That's
really
also
feel
true.
the temperature change too much.
That's also true. But like I've been going out for walks, right?
Yeah,
And
Ramen's got his walking club.
Yeah, it's
Trust, I
like-
see that every single day on Insta.
it's
Yeah.
warm outside. Like the other day, I think last week or some shit, it was like warm as hell. I had to like unzip my jacket and everything. and
Global
take off my
warming,
hat.
boys.
I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this? Gotta stop this global warming madness, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it's just been, I've been obviously, I'm almost done with my dissertation. So finally, I'm not going to chat about that anymore.
It's good. It's good.
First time is over. I'm on my,
No more dissertation.
I'm on my holiday now already. Even
Oh,
though
nice.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed out because now we're in lockdown again in London.
Yeah.
Sad times. But
Yeah.
it is
Sad
what it is, isn't it?
times.
But it is 2020, and 2020 is coming to an end.
Thank God for that.
So this episode is kind of like picking up from the previous episode where we did animes of the decade and we
Yeah.
discussed 2010 to 2019. So in this episode, we'll probably be talking around anime of 2020, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
essentially what we watched. And to be honest, like I don't have the time to watch every single fucking anime that came out. There's around like 40,
Yeah.
50 animes that came out. So I'm just going to be speaking around the ones which I got time to watch. So we already know like the big ones: Jujutsu Kaisen, Great Pretender, Dorohedoro. They're obviously well liked by everyone, by the
Yeah, and
masses.
we've spoken about them quite a lot on the
spoke
show,
up,
so I
yeah.
feel like we don't really need to go back into them.
Yeah.
Talk about those three.
So we'll try to give a few more unique kind of anime of 2020. But before we jump into that, one key part of 2020 was the Tokyo Olympics, and it was cancelled, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And it's basically been moved to 2021, right, in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Do you think it should still happen or not?
I don't know if it's still happening, man.
I don't
we'll
think
have
it
to
will
wait and
happen.
see, but I feel bad for Tokyo or Japan in general, because this is every time they've hosted the Olympics there's been a big problem. Or every time they've wanted to host the Olympics there's been a big problem.
Yeah,
So
it's a sign.
it's like continuing on that trend.
There's a higher power that doesn't want
No,
Japan to
don't say
host it.
that. Poor people.
No,
But
but
yeah,
I don't think it's gonna happen at the rate that the world is going currently with like the vaccine
Yeah.
and stuff. Because like I'm assuming, I don't know if the UK is the first country to have put out the vaccine to people. I don't know what other countries are doing because I don't.
Yeah, other countries are giving out the vaccine as well, but still it's like very slow, and there's not as many shipments of vaccine
Exactly.
or injections. But
And it's like I don't even know if in the UK they're going to be shipping that much because of the recent like new strain that we have in the UK.
yeah,
Hence why we're on lockdown again. It's like they should have just left lockdown from November until the end of the year. It's like
yeah, to be honest.
there was
Yeah.
there's really no point in opening up the
Yeah. And
bullshit. But,
right now, like the Olympics is rescheduled for July next year. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, right, is because there's been a bit of a change of public opinion in Tokyo,
Okay.
in Japan, really. So I'm not sure if you know NHK, but they're essentially
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
a
the
very
news
big,
thing, right?
channel.
Japanese public broadcaster. It's a news channel.
yeah,
And they decided to ask the Japanese citizens what they think, right? So they selected around 2,000 adults from over 18 different areas of the country.
2,000
And they
only?
asked,
Come on, they couldn't do an
yeah,
online
as in, to be
thing?
honest, like they don't really get too many people answering back in it. So they decided to just kind of like keep it small.
Damn.
Like even out of those 2,000 people, only around like 60% actually replied. Okay.
Come on, man.
And what's interesting is most respondents responded that the Olympics shouldn't happen next July. And only 27% said they should be held as scheduled. So it's a kind of contrast because in October, like 40% of the respondents who were asked the same question in October said that they should be held. So it seems like the public opinion is kind of decreasing for it.
13% less. Quick maths.
Yeah,
It's natural though, no? For the
exactly.
people to not want it because they all want their lives to go back to normal as well.
Yeah, like
And
we,
if
we have
you-
no
Yeah.
idea the impact that it's going to
And
cause.
if they go with the Olympics, foreign attack's going to be massive. There's going to be so many foreigners going there. Well, when I say foreigners, I mean in their point of view, foreigners, which is people
It's
from
also
other countries, are all going to
difficult
go.
just to manage the travel, like you said, like so
Exactly.
many people coming in.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like
Unless they cut the stadium capacity by like 50% or something, so everyone's like spaced out.
It's like there's no. They've already lost money by having to cancel it now. It's just best to not do it in 2021 because it most likely will get cancelled again next year, even though it's going to be a hot summer, right? And that's when the coronavirus kind of like goes extinct for a bit. But then we know that it comes back. It did come back
Yeah.
everywhere
Yeah.
else in winter.
It doesn't exactly go extinct. I think like even
It just it's
in
it's you're
areas
less
like
likely.
Malaysia
You're
and like
less likely
Singapore.
to. It decreases. It doesn't like
Yeah,
go
yeah.
away. It decreases by a lot because heat kills like bacteria and the virus that is in surfaces outside. So I mean it was pretty obvious that it was going to decrease during summer. It even decreased here during summer, and we don't have the best of summers in the
Yeah.
UK. You know.
And yeah, there's been some like interesting responses, and like one comment that I thought was pretty funny was, is there anyone who wants to hold it besides the mass media and the people who have vested interests?
No.
And I think the answer is no. But then
Yeah.
I think you have to also think about the other side of things, which is the actual athletes.
I feel bad
They
for
have
Yeah.
worked practically all their life for it, but I think they should probably give it up for the greater good. Like instead of having the majority of people coming here unvaccinated, if the vaccine
Oh, there's going to be
does come
almost
out.
more than 50% of the people might even be unvaccinated.
Yeah,
who would want to attend.
yeah, I think it's a bit dangerous. But that kind of sums up 2020. Like one of the biggest sporting events was meant to happen, but it got cancelled, and we're not even sure if it's going to
Do
come
we
back.
know who's going to host 2024?
Well,
Yeah.
we don't even
Was
know
it
if they're
picked?
going to actually move it by a year or how they're going to do it.
No, is it like did they because they usually find out early, right? Do we know if there was going to be a person any other country?
It's Paris, isn't it?
Oh, was it Paris 24?
I
don't know.
thought it was Paris for 2024.
I
Not
got
sure.
no idea.
And I don't think they moved it either. When they said it was going to be a year ahead, I think it was going to stay 2024 because I wanted to keep it in the 4 years. And then the Winter Olympics always happen in like the half period.
Yeah,
so
so-
2022 Winter Olympics, I think, are in Beijing.
Oh, wasn't there a lot of
Which
talk
is-
about that? That not
Yeah,
like
well, I
people
mean,
not
that's
wanting
also
to-
something
wanting
that's
it to
probably
go
going to get
ahead.
talked about. But yeah, I mean, if they don't do the Olympics in 2021, I don't really know what's going to happen because
I mean-
they're not going to get rid of that like 4 year, 2 year,
Yeah,
Yeah.
year gap. You know what I
Like,
mean? Like it's
I don't
very
think-
important. It's
I
like
don't
been
think
part
it
of the
would be a-
Olympics.
Personally, I don't think it would be a big deal if, say, Japan just did it in 2024, and then Paris.
But you're not-
Paris did it.
You're not
Paris
French, innit?
Paris did it like 4 years after. It's not like the Olympics is gonna disappear.
Yeah, and I think the
until humanity
tradition
goes
is pretty
extinct.
strict.
Yeah, the
right?
4-year thing is pretty
Yeah,
strict.
like the people who
Bruv,
run
it's
it, they're probably
coronavirus. Who gives a
very
fuck about the tradition of 4
obnoxious.
years? Just do it in 2024. Like, honestly, it's not like the Olympics
The people who
has a
care about the traditions
end
give a
date.
fuck about the tradition.
Well, fuck them. They're old. They're gonna go extinct sometime soon. Anyways, it's all the older
God damn.
generation, man. Them and their ways are slowly
Ramen's spitting
going.
fire right now.
Them and their days
Ramen for Prime
are
Minister.
coming to an end, man. Seriously. No, it's I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, the Olympics isn't gonna come to an end. It's not like it's a season-based thing where it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this season's over. This is the season finale of the Olympics. Like, come on.
Well, Winter Olympics.
Yeah, I think anyway, I think probably
That's
the
kind of seasonal.
We never know. Maybe all year round we're gonna have winter sometime. You know.
Yeah, maybe
You
they're just
never
in
know.
Antarctica.
Summer dies out, so we don't have the 4-year summer ones. We have every 2 years a winter Olympic. You know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck knows.
Yeah. I think regardless of whatever solution they do, if it's like, virtual, no one's inside, or half the people, or, they cancel it. This year for anime in general, what do you think? 2020.
Good, very good. Well, apart from the continuing animes, I think they released some good titles this year.
Okay. Yeah.
I think from the originals, I feel like 2019 was peak for originals. I think we discussed this before when we were going through everything, but was it 2019 or was it? I know that we said like obviously other years, but from what I remember, last year had some really good animes.
I know 2017
feel
was
like-
really bad. That's all I remember.
Yeah, but I feel like there were quite a lot that were coming out, and a lot of interesting stuff. I feel like this year has also been very interesting, and there's been a lot more. Like as you said, there's been about 50 that have come out.
Yeah,
So it's
there's
pretty
been quite a
crazy
lot.
to see the increase in anime.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people think that this year hasn't really been that great, just in the anime community in general. I think it's been okay. There's been a few key ones that have kind of
Yeah,
saved
there's
the
been
year.
a couple good ones.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's been
a
a
couple
few
good
key
ones.
ones that we've spoken about that have saved it, like Great Pretender, Jujutsu Kaisen,
Was Great
Toradora.
Pretender as popular as we are making it to be? Because I only knew it because it was just on Netflix. I hadn't heard about.
For me, it was good, so I'm not sure.
No,
I'm
saying
not sure
I'm
about
not
general
saying I'm not
popularity.
saying the anime is not good. Like, I love the anime. I'm just talking about in terms of like popularity. So it's like up there, kind of thing. For us personally, yeah, I would put it up there as one of the better animes. But in terms of like in general, like worldwide popularity kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about
Because of that
general
Netflix
fanfare
jail
for
stuff
it.
we talked about, right? So
yeah,
like,
I think
was just
because it was
thinking-
on Netflix, it did get a bit of a shitting because
Right.
people are like, oh, I can't watch it because it's not
Exactly.
on Netflix. I'm gonna just watch it beforehand, or I don't know.
that kind of
Um,
Netflix jail stuff.
But I
yeah.
think 2020, it had like a lot of unique ones, a few hidden gems, right? And then I do have one which I'm going to talk about, which is actually the biggest letdown for me of 2020. But before we go into that stuff,
Oh.
who wants to kick off with their kind of first anime of 2020?
I feel like you're itching to go for it, man. Just tell us the
Yeah,
shit.
tell us
Just get the shit out the way.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I am itching.
on a happy note.
Yeah, he was
You go
like,
for
who
it?
wants to talk? And
Yeah.
then he was like,
All right, cool. I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but I think ReZero season 2 biggest letdown of 2020.
that's a big shout.
Biggest letdown. Honestly, I was so hyped for this. I even recommended like the season 1 in our previous episode,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, the season 1 is very good.
Yeah, it was top notch.
No idea.
Right? Like season 2 for me, it was just a letdown. Like Subaru is just normally just being a normal simp that he is, right? The first episode that I watched for 20 minutes, it was probably
Yeah.
the most boring anime episode I've watched in a while, like hands down.
Wow.
Like I was, my finger was like nearly touching the like fast forward button.
Strong
And like I
words.
actually played like one of those episodes in like 1.5 speed.
No way.
Right, so I was like, I'll just fucking speedrun in this anime, right? Like it tries to delve into some more of the witch element, so some
Yeah.
more witches get introduced, right, into
Mhm.
this, and a few cool sci-fi things happen, right, where they're trapped in like a massive bubble in a village, and only like half humans can go in, but then they can't
Yeah.
go back out, so they need to kind of like figure out a way to fix this, and they have to do some
Yeah.
trials and everything, and obviously Subaru gets involved.
You mean Subaru dies?
No, yeah, obviously he keeps dying, right? But one of the characters just like absolutely pissed me off in this series, and it's this guy called Garfield. Okay,
Okay.
normally I don't really get offended by anime. I'm just like whatever. Like if it's bad, it's funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. But then there's those characters which are plain fucking annoying, and there's one of those characters that in here. His name's Garfield, and he's like some kind of protector bullshit. I don't even know his role in the story.
Yeah.
He's just there to be a fucking nuisance, right? It's the same voice actor as Bakugo. So you know this
Okay.
guy is literally only fucking screaming, shouting, and getting angry like at every small thing. Like that's his personality, and like
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that all the time. Like he has he's got nothing else. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. And yeah, it was so poor. Like I watched some of the episodes on 1.5 speed, right?
Wow.
And half the witches that they introduced are not to be fucking lollies. Okay, so I'm not into that shit,
Okay.
right? Beatrice, which is another one that he has to help and she helps him, is another fucking lolly, right? So I feel like it was too much lolly stuff going on at the same
Turned into some
time,
kind of harem.
and it kind of pivoted a bit more towards a harem, in my opinion.
So fun.
Okay.
From its normal kind of him just simping, now there's like every single girl wants a piece of him, and I was just like, this is not what I signed up for. And I feel like when people actually watch the series and they stop like trying to like suck it off, they'll realize it's actually shit. Okay, it was not good. Like they could have done so much better.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, people really, really loved this, but at the same time, 90% of what I saw people speak about were the waifu aspect.
Is ReZero
Yeah.
the one with the that weird TikTok video where there's that chick in red that's doing the weird dance to the
No,
music? Is
no,
that
that's
No, no,
that's
no.
that's waifu of the year,
That's
bro.
that's
Oh,
Darling
That's
in the
darling,
Franks.
darling in the
Fuck off,
Franks,
man.
bro.
All you mentioned was waifu in this damn anime. That's
Yeah.
all I could think of because I thought
And
this.
the waifu, right? She's a lolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a full yikes. Okay, and to be
Looking
honest,
a bit peak.
I was actually so shocked about how I found this season to be so bad. Like I googled why is ReZero so shit season 2. Okay, and
Moving
the
like
funniest thing
like
is there was other people talking about it as
Yeah.
well, and they were
Okay.
like, you know what, it's not as good as the first season. Or don't get me wrong, there's people who still love it, right?
Yeah, people love it.
But for me,
Duh.
this was one of the key ones I was looking forward to in 2020, and it never delivered.
Damn. It's
Yeah.
like the Royal Mail.
Sucks, bro. Sucks.
Never delivered.
It's like someone's PS5.
Almost everyone's PS5.
Yeah.
fucking fine.
But yeah, that's my first one, which was biggest letdown, ReZero season 2. How about you guys?
I didn't really have a letdown, to be honest with you.
I didn't watch letdowns. I don't watch.
Yeah,
I don't watch that
I
shit.
didn't,
Sorry.
I didn't watch anything that let me down,
Yeah.
hella. I think I can start off with Tower of God. I saw a lot of
Oh,
clips of
shit,
this
actually.
on Instagram, so that's kind of what brought me in to watch it. I kept seeing different anime Instagram pages that I follow posting clips and like talking about the different characters, and I was surprised how weird I found the art style. So that was something that kind of threw me off. The story itself is kind of, I don't know, they basically took Fortnite and Hunter x Hunter and then just smashed them together.
Wow.
It's like kind of like Sword Art Online as well with the tower, because obviously it's a tower.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
honestly, there are some complete. I don't know if other people think this, but I found some of the characters just complete rip-offs of Hunter x Hunter characters. Like there's this one guy who has blonde hair. I forgot his name now. And he has 2 dots under his eyes, and he's basically Hisoka from what I've saw.
Lol.
And he sounds kind of like Hisoka. So it's that kind of thing. It was like it wasn't bad. It was still good. Like it's still a lot of fighting. I like fighting animes, as you guys know. So that was a nice aspect. And the tower is kind of like a metaphor for success. So it's the different levels of success as you go up through the tower, and that aspect of it was quite interesting, and it wasn't copied. So even though it had similar things to other animes, it wasn't like a complete copy. It wasn't a complete cop out. Some of the main characters are quite interesting. I like the
Yeah, there was one thing I was gonna quickly say. Right, this comes from a webtoon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna say that in a bit. It comes from a webtoon. I like some of the character designs, but just the anime style is a bit weird. And I think that the reason I found it a bit weird is because it comes from a webtoon and it's a Crunchyroll. I don't know if Crunchyroll animated it or whatever. I think it's the same kind of thing as a Netflix original, but it's a Crunchyroll original.
Mm-hmm.
But Crunchyroll seem to be doing this with a lot of webtoons. Like God of High School was the same thing. They
Didn't
seem to
watch
kind
that.
of be bringing it to a wider audience and funding it. And in God of High School, I don't remember if I mentioned this when I was talking about it way back when, but at the beginning of the fights and when they do interviews and stuff, there's like Crunchyroll as the sponsor in the back of the interview panel. You know, in the UFC when they have that board behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, but it says Crunchyroll on it. So this one didn't really have Crunchyroll um, merch everywhere, but I think
Plus,
they're
it
doing a
doesn't.
good thing by bringing all these webtoons out. But yeah, I don't know. For me, it's something that you don't have to watch 100%.
I watched
So-
one episode and I was like, yeah, nah, nope.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a must watch at all. I didn't like. I think it was good.
Did you
Personally,
enjoy
I
it?
enjoyed.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, like I enjoyed the fighting. I enjoyed the kind of similarities with Hunter x Hunter because obviously I love Hunter x
Yeah.
Hunter.
So
But I do not think it was like anime of 2020
Yeah.
the best one.
No
Oh, yeah.
way.
I just think it was a solid one that we haven't spoken about.
so I'm actually scared of watching it because
Watch it.
I
And,
I watched the webtoon. I read the webtoon, right? So I read around like 100, like 120, 30 chapters of it, and I enjoyed reading it. Obviously, it's like a new concept, right? It's actually a pretty cool
Yeah.
concept. The characters, like, there's a fucking massive 10-foot crocodile Hulk.
Yeah, the
With like an
Crocodile Hulk
axe,
guy. I
right?
love him. Yeah.
Yeah, like some of the abilities, the way they climb the tower as well, and like, you know, people's purpose. It's very, very
Yeah.
unique. And I feel like I had a really good time reading it. And then I was excited for the anime version, but I kept hearing that it was subpar. So I was like,
Yeah, that's
do I
the
want to
thing.
ruin
So
my current image or
it's
not?
like what you said. So that aspect of it, like climbing up the tower and the tower itself, I thought was unique and interesting. But there are some other aspects in it that are just a bit off. And so I think that there's a lot of potential there for them to grow it in another season and to really like go all out or to go more
Yeah.
into it.
I
But
I think the
I
coolest
think
thing is, right, is that they're actually adapting webtoons now into
yeah, for sure.
like anime. Like I think ramen, we've seen this. It's Sweet Home. It comes from a
yeah,
webtoon,
man, it's good.
right? It's a Korean. So when we say webtoon, they're basically Korean webtoons. So they're from Korea, not really Japan. Some of them get adapted to anime. Some get adapted to like Korean dramas or movies. But some also to Netflix originals. So one that we've currently watched is Sweet Home, which is a horror one. Definitely recommend. Amazing.
It's good.
Oh no, I wouldn't say amazing, but pretty good to watch.
It's a solid watch for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna
yeah.
read the webtoon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And just back to my point, I think it's a good thing that they've started delving out because now they have more like sources of creativity, and I feel like this is the first kind of wave of webtoon anime, and like this year and next year they're just gonna get better, hopefully.
I just feel like I don't know. Like, there's obviously going to be the goods and the bads of webtoons becoming animated. Obviously, I personally know that webtoons get dramatized. They get made into like full on serials in Korea with like real actors and stuff like that, and that brings its success. Like really successful webtoons getting made into dramas into K dramas has its success so far with like Tower of God. Like I've only watched one episode, so I'm like I can't exactly judge the whole thing, but I feel like it might not be as successful as like animes from mangas. If you kind of get like the point that I'm trying to put across, right? I feel like a lot of the webtoons are created in the real world. Like Tower of God was one of the webtoons that was not created; it was created in a fantasy world. Whereas most
Well,
of
I think like with webtoons, it's kind of like manga, dude. Like there's so many in real world, so many random like sci-fi And
But the more
I think there's more real world ones.
what I'm saying is in webtoons, the popularity usually stems from it being real world, rather than like most of the popular webtoons that I know of and that I've heard of. Because in Korea, once something is popular, everybody talks about it. Because
Yeah.
Korea is not a huge country, right? And you get to like once something becomes popular, everybody knows it, everybody talks about it, and most of them get turned in. They're most of them are like real life in the real world rather than a fantasy world, and then they get made into dramas, and that also becomes popular. Whereas
Yeah, fair
like
enough.
a lot of manga is created in a world of its own.
Okay, I get you.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where the difference, I guess, stems in the different audiences as well. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people don't read webtoons except for like people who are invested in it or Koreans.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you
to
wouldn't
be
be
honest, I
reading
only
webtoons
read like the
outside.
big ones that I heard of.
Exactly.
Like I don't go out there looking for new webtoons really,
Exactly.
until
never
like
read any.
they get popular really.
But I
Oh
guess
yeah, ramen.
we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But so far, it's not looking too good. I mean, Sweet Home was really good. It was made into a drama, and they made it pretty well.
Yeah,
But yeah, you were gonna say,
agreed.
Tyler?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, did any of the webtoons make it onto your list for 2020?
Like web. Well, I'm gonna read Sweet Home. That's the only. That's the only one. I
Yeah.
might read one of the ones that got dramatized but made into a drama. But I don't know,
Yeah.
to be honest. Not
Cool.
100% sure. I don't read too many webtoons because I haven't gotten into that scene yet.
Yeah. So, which anime have you chosen?
Oh well, obviously apart from Jujutsu Kaisen, which I'm guessing it's finished now, but I'm not sure how many episodes they're gonna go for season 1. But apart from that, I started watching what's it called? Moriarty the Patriot.
Oh, the Sherlock Holmes
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Hey.
Blonde Moriarty, right?
It's actually
Yeah.
pretty good. I liked it. I watched the first episodes and I found it pretty interesting. Like obviously I like
Okay.
the mystery solving.
Is it very detective based? Like, there's been a crime and we got to go solve it.
No, actually no. It's nothing like that. It's actually more like a anti-hero reverse Robin Hood kind of like Robin Hood but not
Hey.
Robin Hood kind of thing. He's not
Cool.
giving back, he's not stealing from the rich and giving back to the poor, but he's helping the poor and the poor people and the victims of like unjust crimes get revenge kind of thing. Because
Oh, okay.
Moriarty's not a good guy, right? So they can't
Yeah.
make him into a good guy even in the anime. He's still he's a genius criminal still, like a
Okay.
genius like bad
So he's
guy.
not actually a good guy. He's still
Yeah, he's a good guy to the victims in a way,
okay.
like an anti-hero kind of thing, like
Is
Venom
there
and stuff like that.
comedy? How's the voice acting in it?
It's solid. It's not gonna. There's not much comedy in it. No, it's kind of.
Is it more serious then?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's quite serious. It's kind of like has more of a serious tone to it. There isn't much like, oh, this has to be funny type of thing. At least not from the first 2 episodes. But I quite enjoyed it, and it's
Yeah.
all held in Victorian times as well. So
Yeah. Is there anything that kind of stood out for you from the
yeah,
anime?
bro, there's like, they added in like a brother for Moriarty who looks like his twin, but is also his
Okay.
like butler, and then they have another.
He's a butler?
Well, he's his
Man
butler.
turned his twin into a butler?
Yeah, so
What
like
the fuck?
I guess he's like he's got like 2 accomplices. And they're
Okay,
like
his
very
twin
rich. So his
slave.
twin one, who is also I guess his butler, but I don't know the full story of the twin guy. He might
Yeah,
not
okay.
even be his twin.
Okay,
They
fair
might just
enough.
look the same and whatever. And then
Okay, fair enough.
there's another like guy who's an earl, who's part of their crew, but they're like all the same age and shit.
Bro, I feel like being an earl is not even like if my title was earl, it's kind of a peak
weird,
title.
innit?
Like it's not like the best. Like I'd rather be a sir. You know what I mean?
Trust. But yeah, I think it's gonna have like a very high
All right, Mr.
society
Posh
kind
Boy.
of thing.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're like, oh, I'm the Earl of Canterbury or something, like it just makes you sound like
Snobby, bro.
unimportant. Yeah, I just feel like
No
you're
one gives a
unimportant, but you're
shit.
clinging on to being
Yeah,
an Earl.
no one
Yeah.
cares that you're an earl.
It's literally like you've been born into it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, the thing is, because they always have earls in anime. I don't know what it is, but there's always like anime that are set in these times. They always have earls in them, and
Yeah.
they love that title.
Because in Victorian,
Yeah,
I guess in
there's
Victorian
definitely a
times,
fascination.
in those times, like
Yeah,
having that position, you were like rich, and there was a clear divide between rich and poor, right? So like being an earl was
yeah,
like all important, God given, all that nonsense, you know.
yeah.
But now, if you're an
Old
earl,
money.
it doesn't even matter because there's still classes. There's like middle class, and middle
Yeah.
class people don't give a shit. Working class people don't give a shit about those people. It's like you do your horse riding stuff, man. Fuck off.
Earl Grey tea.
Yeah, like you go drink your tea and stuff and have your cakes. We don't care.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a
no,
pretty good
that's
anime.
pretty cool that they did like a different take on Moriarty and like
It's
the
not
Sherlock Holmes stuff.
super big different, but it shows another side of, I guess, also
is kinda
saving
different, though, 'cause he's-
people. He's also kind of saving people, but not exactly.
Because normally he doesn't save anyone. He's
Yeah,
just
we
like
don't even
He's
know
just
what
a
he's
guy
up
who
to.
wants
You know what I
war
mean?
and wants to make money out
Yeah.
of like war and shit. Yeah. So it is
Yeah,
it
that's
is
what
a
he's
bit
normally
different,
like.
but he's still evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
So
not-
It's nice that they kept him evil, to be honest. I would be upset if they just made him into a good guy and it was like
a good guy simp.
fairy and yeah.
One thing that
you know what I mean?
I guess stood out from like a very first episode is the line where he says that in this twisted world, like the law isn't gonna help you because it's a twisted world, so the law
Okay.
is
Yeah.
also twisted. So
I
what he's
think
saying
as
is
long as
revenge is
he's
real.
yeah,
it's
as long
the
as he's
real
not a
desire.
Legoshi, then it's good.
Yeah, no, I don't. So far, I haven't seen a female character in it. I don't think there's
Yeah.
going
As
to
long
be.
as man's not simping.
I don't think there's
Yeah.
going to be a simpful character in this.
But
Bro, speaking of simps,
Yeah.
so the other anime that I chose, the one that I actually think was a really good contender for this year and something that I think people should watch, was Gleipnir, not 100% sure on the pronunciation, Gleipnir, Gleipnir.
Got no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, a weird name, but I think it was a really interesting anime. And I know, Tyler, that you said like you thought it was okay, but I actually really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think that Shuichi is a bit of a
Bitch.
beta. Well, yeah, okay, he's not a bit of a beta. He is a beta. He's like marginally less beta than Legoshi, but he's definitely not like Axel World level
Oh yeah.
of a bitch. So I could watch it without wanting to pull my hair out. But I know that you don't really like bitch simp main characters. So I think
Exactly.
if you absolutely hate those type of characters, it might not be for you. But at the same time, it's interesting because he has a dynamic with the other main character, Claire.
Yeah, that's
And
why
I
I
think
liked
that-
it. That's why I thought it
Yeah.
was okay because like I think
Yeah.
she saved it, like the series.
Yeah,
She carried
because
it.
she's an alpha. So she and they basically, the premise of the story is that Shuichi is like bestowed a power upon him. You don't really know why until farther in. I think it's in episode 2 they actually reveal how he gets his power, but I don't want to spoil it. But basically, he can transform into this mascot. It's like a wolf mascot. So he has like a huge body, a huge head, just like a mascot would.
Wait, it's
And
more
then-
like a fucking teddy bear. Like
Yeah, no,
Wolf
but
makes it
is a
sound like
mascot.
aggressive, cool. It's a fucking teddy bear that's like
Yeah, so
been
it's a teddy
dropped.
bear version. And actually, the reason I watch the anime is because I generally like cute things, and I thought that the wolf thing was cute. So I was like, I want to see what this is because I saw a clip of him breaking a wall with his fist, and I was like, what the hell is this cute little wolf guy like destroying buildings?
Straight
And
up
so I
Wolverine.
watched it. Yeah, for real. I was just watching it, and I really liked I like in general the animation. The animation is really good in this anime. I thought it was really strong, and I thought that the character designs were really, really good. And I think that it's really interesting because he's a mascot, he has, this is kind of a spoiler, so maybe skip 15 seconds, but he has a zipper on the back of his costume. And Claire, the other main character, can control him by entering his body through the zipper.
What?
So it's a really
entering,
interesting.
and they play a big part in entering. Like they
Oh
focus
yeah,
on that a lot.
yeah. It's like Shokugeki no Soma. It's
Yeah,
like
very
she's
Ichi.
gonna enter me. Oh, Ishi. You know, it's like that, like basically the whole time.
God.
Yeah, and he's like, no, stop.
Yeah, no, stop.
But then
Put
he's like,
clothes
then he
on.
opens it up wide.
Yeah, but yeah, so that part's interesting because it's not really a common theme for number one for there to be kind of a symbiotic relationship between the two main characters. Like normally they're not the same being most of the show.
To be honest, it kind of
So-
reminded me of like Gundam, like how somebody gets inside a Gundam, and sometimes there's some
Gundam may
emotional
have a personality.
Well, yeah,
connection.
if the Gundam had its own emotions and thoughts and feelings and whatever, but
Yeah.
it's like it's interesting because in like when she controls his body, he can't do anything, so she can do whatever she wants. And
Venom.
another like short spoiler here, she uses his body and she kills someone, and then he's like freaking out about it, and he feels like shit, and
Yeah, like he's
he
done
gets
it
he gets
himself.
basically depressed, and then she's like, well, you didn't do it, I took control of your body, so why do you care? You couldn't stop me. So then it's just interesting the way they play the two characters off each other and how different they are. And I think that it's a really, really interesting anime just because of that weird symbiotic relationship. I don't think there's been many that I've seen that have played it off like that. And I
Parasite.
just think in general, the world is pretty cool.
Parasite.
So I'll
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Parasite.
Parasite. You're right. So yeah, it's basically like it's like watching Parasite, but I feel like in Parasite
You get like
they
an extra
become
entity.
more like one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in this one they still keep their
Yeah,
separate
yeah.
halves, and then when they come together, they like work together. But I think it's still quite separate. But you do see them go from literally like Claire was bullying Shuichi at the beginning to them being more interested in each other, and like she describes him as her other half at one point.
Yeah.
Getting
So
a
like you
romance
see
story.
that develop, and I think it's interesting. And the other monsters, because basically there are other people who have this power to transform. There's a lot of like really sick monsters
Yeah.
and a lot of interest in how you become a monster and how you get this power.
So for me, right, I agree with that. It was like a unique kind of story scenario,
Yeah, for
monsters, all of that. But
There's some aliens in there too. You know?
yeah, definitely there was
Let's
aliens
go.
in there, and I just think that it could have been a bit better. I think the overall story arc of him, he doesn't know his memories, and
Yeah, it's a
like
bit played out. It's
the
a bit
lady,
like cliche to have that.
yeah, it was very very slow, and obviously sometimes slow pace is good. And then there was like a whole final confrontation ending piece, right? Which for me didn't pay off as much as I wanted it to. I thought there was going to be a bit more of a cliffhanger, a bit more of a potential kind of final scenario, because a lot of stuff kind of falls in together. You find out his background, you find out where his powers are coming from.
Yeah.
You find out like this key party that keeps contacting him, and like the different
Yeah.
relationships. And when they all gather together, it just like for me the bubble burst. Like it didn't like get bigger or anything. It just burst.
Okay.
That's why I was like, it's good. It could have been much better in my opinion. But I'd say it's good. Like
I think it's definitely a 4 out of 5 for me, a 4.5 out of 5 for the ones that came out this year. I really enjoyed it, and I think that they did a good job developing two main characters in only 13 episodes. Because you have to give it to them, by the 7th episode, like the characters are almost fully developed, and they're developing two main characters. Like normally it takes a lot longer to see character development. So
Yeah, right,
I get
right,
what
right.
you're saying with it being slow, but at the same time, I think the character development is quite fast paced for the amount of characters that there are.
oh yeah,
and
the
kind of
character
developing
development
the
was
world.
fine. I think the story wise pacing was a bit here and there.
Yeah, I can get that.
But yeah, there's one other anime that I want to talk about, and I feel like it's a hidden gem, right? Not many people are already talking about it, and when I watched it, you're going to be surprised, like the style of anime that I was watching, because it's not all action, right?
Okay.
But it's called the Japanese version name is called Aizuken Niwato wa Dasuna, or the English name is Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken. Okay,
How can
and
you pronounce that correctly and then you can't say izakaya or isekai?
Yeah,
Like,
izakaya. What is
you know what I
izakaya,
mean?
bro?
Like, how do you say that normally, and then every time it's an isekai anime,
it's one
you're
of the
like
mysteries.
izakaya?
Izakaya. Let's go to the izakaya.
I don't know, man. It's just one of the mysteries. But okay, hands down, this is a work of beauty. All right, the animation
Okay.
in here
What was
is
the English
it's a
name?
contender. Keep
Hands
your
of
hands
somebody.
off. Aizuken. Aizuken.
Okay,
E-I-Z-
let me have a look.
Eizuken. So it's not your typical like action anime. It's not your typical adventure or whatever. But it's more slice of life, right? It's a very calmed anime at times, and the
The
reason
animation is weird, man.
yeah, the reason why I said it's a work of beauty, right, is some of the scenes in this anime it literally looks like desktop wallpapers. Like when you Google cool desktop wallpapers and those really crazy anime one pops up,
Yeah.
like this is it, but in an
Yo.
anime form, right?
Okay.
They reimagined like Japanese architecture, and I feel like the scenarios, the sceneries is just amazing. And it kind of the story itself, right? You focus on the character called Asukasa. I think I'm saying that correctly, but it's Asukasa, right? And he's a landscape drawer, okay, and very into anime, and he's good at storytelling. To be honest, I can't tell if it's a female or a male, right? Like,
Okay.
yeah, because I think
Well,
I thought
they
it was
all
a male, but then
females?
sometimes they were saying she and then he, and I was like,
Aren't all three of them females? What the hell?
yeah. So Asakusa, right? He's more of a landscape drawer, and he wants to join the anime society. He doesn't want to join, but he wants to attend. He doesn't really like go into these anime stuff, right? And he meets Mizusaki, who sneaks into the anime screening as well, and she's kind of getting chased by men in black, and she's a student, but she's like also an amateur model, and her parents are actresses who kind of forbid her from joining the anime society. Okay, and she also wants to become an animator, but she's really good at drawing people. So she kind of picks up his weakness, right? His weakness is he can't really draw people. He can do landscapes, where she can do more people. And when they combine together, right, they combine their skills, they start to make animation and art. And their concept drawings are quite amazing. It's really, really detailed, and it's just beautiful to look at. And you start to think about, oh, what if what they're making was an actual anime? And you just get lost in like a thought of like a trail of thought, right? And it just becomes their journey to become animators, the challenges that they face, right, along the way. And yeah, it's just like once they make a drawing, the viewer is kind of like teleported into that drawing, and then you kind of imagine what would that be. So I've watched like quite a few episodes, and so far it's pretty good. It's one of
Sounds
those
really good,
relaxing
man.
ones which you can watch on Sunday, and it's just
Nice.
the feel good anime that you can
This-
watch.
So far from your explanation, this gives off like the vibe of yet another take on the life of mangaka.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what was it? Oh shit, I can't think of the name.
Isn't it Bakuman? Something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Bakuman,
like
right?
another
Yeah.
take of like the life of a mangaka, which obviously Bakuman did brilliantly. But in this one, they kind of
thought-
delve
wh-
into the world of that they created, kind of thing, you know.
When you said it, I thought there was an anime called The Life of a Mangaka, and I was like, why haven't I
No,
heard
no,
of
no.
this? It
What I'm
sounds
saying,
cool.
what I'm trying, like, I'm literally saying, like, a take on what a life of a mangaka would be like.
It sounds really cool, and I really like these types of. I'm surprised that you liked it. First of all, it doesn't
Exactly.
sound
Yeah,
like
like,
your
what the?
vibe at all.
What is this
No,
guy on about?
I like a
was just
variety of
shitting-
anime.
He was
Okay.
just shitting on the anime I liked because it was slow, and he's
Yeah,
watching a
he's
slice of life.
exactly like, bro. And why do you keep calling the character a male? To me, I think they're all females, and even they have
Oh,
a
is
live
it?
action, and all the lead in the live action are female as well.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
I mean, he
I
does
couldn't really
look-
I can
tell
see
from the
it.
lead.
She does
It's
kind of look
ge-
like she has like a
Gender ambiguous.
Yeah, and
male-
I'd
the
say.
male
voice
haircut.
was the voice was a bit more male sounding to me. That's why I was
but,
like, oh, okay.
yeah, the live
and
action they're all
the
female.
dress as well. Like she wasn't wearing a dress or anything, right? It was
They're wearing
more kind of
skirts.
just school outfit. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh shit!
I mean,
I
bro,
missed,
it's
Yeah,
in
I
dude,
missed
the-
I
something
think-
big.
Am I looking at
When
the
I
wrong
looked at
thing?
it, she's wearing a skirt.
They're all wearing
so I was like,
skirts.
okay, maybe it's a guy wearing a skirt. I'm not gonna judge.
Yeah, the only reason why I say it's they're all female is because all the cast for the live action are female.
Yeah, but
So-
yeah. Regardless of the gender, I think it's a pretty good
Yo,
feel good anime that you
the-
can watch. Very well animated. Okay.
The art style really
Okay.
gives off webtoon vibes to me, like webtoon art vibes, rather than.
and I think
manga
Bakuman's like
anime.
situated in the real world. This is actually kind of situated like a bit in an alternate world.
Yeah,
their
well,
universe
uh,
that they created,
yeah.
right? They jump into their universe, so they want to also
art
be
style
anime
looks
as
sick,
mangaka,
though.
but then
Yeah,
they
yeah.
also
Well,
jump into the
It's really good.
fantasy. It makes sense.
Yeah, I get your ramen.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying,
seems
bruh.
pretty. It's colorful from the looks
Yeah.
of it. I'd like to read it. For
Yeah.
sure.
How about you guys? You got any more?
I think the other ones that we spoke about earlier in the pod, obviously, I think my favorite one
Akudama Drive.
from the. Oh, really? That's yours?
I watched.
think that one
Well,
was good?
I mean, so far, pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought that when I watched the first few
Yeah.
episodes, I thought it was pretty good. But you can discuss it more, but I don't know, it didn't grip me as much as I thought it would.
I'm not gonna put it in the best, but I would say it's better than. But I felt like it stood out to me a lot more than some
Yeah.
of the other ones that I checked up on Mal. Like that
Yeah, fair
definitely,
play.
because obviously what is it? The last every fall season, the best animes always come out in fall. Usually, that's what I've picked up from Mal. Like
Okay.
the best titles, or even the continued titles, all come out in fall.
I think summer and winter though they're pretty strong. I know that spring was a big one a few years back. Like there were always good animes coming out in spring, but maybe they've changed
Yeah,
recently
perhaps.
to be fall centered.
Because I mean, Jujutsu came out in fall. Haikyuu to the top season, part 2 came out in fall.
Just because Haikyuu came out, that's
Yeah,
it.
man. Attack on
All fall
Titan,
animes are the best animes.
final season,
Oh yeah, that's
fall.
gonna be
Burn the
sick.
Witch,
Wait,
which
is that not winter?
Yeah,
oh
it's
fall
winter. It's
winter,
winter.
fall winter. My bad. Fall
Okay,
winter. Fall
fair
winter.
play.
Well, would that be then winter 2022? What the fuck? Because Mal
No,
has
not
this.
2022, mate.
Mal has a weird way of categorizing winter in its years,
Oh yeah, I get what you mean.
right?
It's like
So
I know what you're
Attack on
talking about.
Titan falls under fall for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I
And then
get
it
what
would
you're
be
saying. Because
winter
winter's kind
2021.
of like the next
When
year.
was the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
episode?
It was like a couple of weeks.
No, he's just talking
In
about
Mal, on
Mal. He's
Mal.
talking about how
Oh, okay,
Mal
okay.
sorts
Not like
animes, so I get what
legit,
he's
but
talking
like
about.
what they.
Because winter's the beginning of the year
Yeah.
on Mal, so
Yeah.
the end of the year, even if it's like technically winter,
Yeah.
it will say it's
Yeah,
fall,
yeah.
and then winter will be like anything that comes out from January to
Yeah,
February.
that's what I was going with the Mal
I got
thing.
you, bro.
That's why I
I
said
know what
it's
you're talking
fall
about.
rather than actually winter. But yeah, anyways,
Yeah,
like those kind of like Burn the Witch, right? That was a pretty
I get what you're saying.
big title that came out.
Who is your favorite Akadama Drive character?
God, I don't know yet. Uh
I like the robot dude,
I
man.
like the hacker.
Yeah, the hacker
The
guy.
hacker guy is pretty
That's what
chill,
I'm talking
man.
about. That guy's pretty sick.
He's actually pretty
Why?
cool. He's,
I don't know,
there's
man.
some-
It's just
yeah,
like
man.
he's basically like computer god.
Yeah.
Like he can hack anything. He hacked a bank in like 0.2 seconds.
He's just
Okay.
like done.
It's just like one of those things where he just looks like he's gonna be so OP,
yeah.
and then someone's gonna just like open the door to his man cave, and he's gonna be weak as fuck.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's one of those characters, and he just seems like a pretty cool guy.
Yeah. But like I don't know what it is though about these futuristic it goes the same for like film or animated stuff like super in the future, you know. Why does
Yeah.
everything super in the future look like everybody broke as fuck, everybody's poor, everything's
Yeah,
gone
for
to
real.
shit. It's supposed to be the future. Why does everything look so dingy and like, you know, even Cyberpunk?
I think they're trying to be realistic, but then them being realistic is unrealistic.
you know how like Cyberpunk
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 27 was it 2077?
yeah,
Was it?
Came
Yeah,
out- everything looks so
it's like I guess
dingy and-
pollution.
yeah.
Like,
There's basically like
everything's gone
mass
to shit.
population, poverty. Like nothing's
It
basically
looks-
been fixed.
It looks horrible. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, I don't want to live through to that age, bro.
Yeah.
I wanna be gone by the time that kind of age comes.
Yeah.
It just looks horrible and dark. Too many buildings.
Yeah.
You can't see the sky. It's just bad. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know what you
That's
mean.
like the kind
know
of
what you mean,
impression
but-
I got off obviously Akudama Drive because it's set in the future, right? They've got like
Yeah.
flying balloons, which are their trains now and whatnot.
Yeah. I like that interesting stuff though. In that
Yeah,
anime.
no, I
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
like
They
the
had a-
interesting stuff bits.
Yeah, they had a lot of like the world or the way the world is in that anime is really cool.
It's a lot
I think
like-
they did a lot of
Like, you know how Japan, we were talking about Japan is like a cash country. Everybody carries on
Yeah.
cash, but in
Yeah.
Akudama Drive, nobody carries on cash anymore. Everything's through
well
card.
in preparation for the Olympics, they've started making a lot of shops and subways and other things card friendly because it genuinely was not card friendly until really recently. So maybe they've taken that and put a spin on it and made it so that like Japan will eventually be
All card.
kind of like the West.
Yeah, and there's some little shops and like very little businesses will be like, I don't accept card, bro. Give me cash.
Yeah, it was like in the first
Yeah,
episode,
yeah.
the girl
She has
goes
the
to buy
500.
ramen, and they're like, we don't take those fucking cards. Give me
Give me
cash.
cash.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, we all know what they're doing with cash only.
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Escape tax.
yeah. Cheating on those books.
Tax evasion,
We know
boys.
that old ramen lady. She's
Yeah, man.
evading
She's evading.
bear tax with those 500 yen
Yeah, all
ramen.
those 500 yen
So
takoyaki
overall,
balls.
right, that anime, what was like the best thing about it? Like, what were some things that stood out for you?
What, on
Like
Nakodama
burst.
Drive?
Yeah, the ones
I
that the
think
one
I
they
think
watched.
for me when I was watching it, it was just this is before we watched Great Pretender, so I was interested that it was a heist anime.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that kind of stuck out to me. Obviously, I like Great Pretender more, but I think that one, had Great Pretender not come out, I probably would have thought that was really really cool because I haven't seen many heist animes. And the other thing for me was just the world, the way they
Yeah.
animated the world there, and the little like tidbits that they put in. Like Ramen was saying when they have the balloons instead of trains, I thought that was so sick.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all
Ramen,
Yeah.
what
those,
do you think?
yeah, it's just all those little details. To be honest, I'm curious to see where the story is gonna go and how I don't even remember the pink haired girl's name, man. I don't. Everyone, they didn't have names. I just realized, like all of
Yeah.
those like criminals,
Oh, it's one of those
the
Goblin
Yeah, the
Slayer ones,
Akudamas didn't
Akudamas,
have
yeah.
names. Their
like
names
Goblin
were
Slayer.
kind of like what they're basically known as, what
Yeah,
crime
yeah,
they're
yeah,
known
yeah.
as.
Like I think one of them's called Cutthroat.
Yeah,
One of them's
cutthroat.
Doctor.
Yeah.
One of them is
Oh, it's kind of like
Hacker.
nicknames.
Yeah, yeah.
It-
And then the girl who's the main character, I don't even think she has a name. I think
they
she's
didn't
just like
say her name,
person.
right? She's
I
just a
think she's literally
swindler.
like person.
She's just a swindler. Well, so
Okay,
far, because
that
Yeah,
can
actually,
that can
now that
either
I
be
think
really
about it-
good or very bad.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it makes sense because it's like a heist anime,
Yeah.
right? So the guys are hacking.
Yeah,
So
he's a hacker.
Oh, guys get the hacker. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The brawler was actually also a cool. He's probably my second favorite character.
He smashed
He was
everything,
pretty
bro.
sick. Yeah, he
He's
destroys
lit.
everything, but his character design's sick.
Yeah.
He's got like red dreadlocks, so he just looks like a pretty cool character.
Oh damn. Okay.
I'm just curious to see
Yeah.
where they're gonna take the story and how they how much luck Swindler is gonna have. So the
Yeah.
main character girl, how much luck she's gonna have to be able to like still be the swindler, because she tried to. Well, I mean, I don't know if everyone's watched the first episode, but she kind of like let herself live by saying that
Yeah.
she's a swindler, even though
Yeah,
she's just a regular like,
Okay.
person,
yeah,
you know.
she's just a person.
Yeah. And then she got dragged into this
Literally.
death game
Yeah.
that they're in now.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
It does sound like a good one.
Yeah.
And my final one as well, is BNA. It's called BNA. So it's
I
called
heard of that.
Brand New Animal. So
Brand
at
New
first, like I didn't think I was gonna watch it or
Oh,
like
bro,
it.
is this like Zootopia 2? Or
Better.
Beastars?
Better.
Beastars.
Yeah. So
That's
I think
on top
Bro,
of
this
it.
is
Beastars
this
too?
is a new take on like anime for me, and I think,
Okay.
oh no, not
Well,
think.
that-
I know, right? This
New-
is
new
what.
take. There's only one other one.
Yeah, this is what
Shitstars.
Beastar should have been, right? This is not some
Okay.
like shitty low tier porno with like a beta simp wolf, right?
This is this the one with the raccoon girl?
Yeah. She's
That one actually looked really cool.
yeah, it's very cool, like top notch animation, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like a Batman and Robin, but with a silver wolf and a
Okay.
raccoon, and she's like a special kind of raccoon as well. I think it's like Tanuki, which
Oh,
which
Tanuki,
is
yeah,
a
it's the
Japanese,
Japanese. Yeah.
raccoon dog, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's what Mario turns into when he gets the little raccoon tail. It's the Tanuki.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, because it's a Japanese game, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's pretty sick. But yeah, the reason why I said like this is a new take, and this is what I feel like other fucking anime should have been, is it's in a world where beastmen exist, right? And like beastmen is not gender specific, so you can have males and females under that.
Okay.
And it's someone who can basically turn into a beast because you have like a beast factor, okay? And there's always been like an ongoing conflict with humans, of course, right? So the beastmen have basically been forced to build a society for themselves, and this is called Anima City, and it's kind of deemed like a safe haven for these beastars where they can like live in peace and carry on their daily business, right?
Yeah.
But we really do get like a sense of conflict. Even in the first scene, like the main girl, she's called Micharu. Michiru or something, Michiru, and she's essentially running and trying to escape to Anima City, right? But she's getting like hunted down by like humans. Okay.
Okay.
And even though she arrives there and she's like, oh yeah, I'm finally here, right? There's like a terrorist attack like that happens at animes at the city, right? It's literally in the first episode. Okay. And then she starts to get more involved in the city. And you get like corrupt beastmen, gangsters, humans getting involved. And obviously the other main character, the wolf, his name is Ogami. And he's like a mysterious silver wolf who's a social worker by day, but like an invincible, very powerful silver wolf vigilante by night. Okay. That's why I see like a lot of comparisons between him and Batman.
Nice.
Right. Overall, voice acting really good. The world is unique. There's always something that's going on per episode. And we started discovering more and more about the world and how the Anima City might not be as great as we think. Right. And we also discover more about Michiru and her plot. So she's a raccoon girl, right? Like she's a raccoon, right? But she keeps saying that she's human. Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing is, she can't turn back, and it's a human that's turned into a beastman or an animal, and she has special powers, right? So it's this idea of that she could be the special link between the beastmen and humans. So they start delving into that, and this is only in the first couple of episodes, so I'm not really spoiling much, but it's a very, very, very engaging watch. It's what I was kind of expecting when I would watch a animal-based society as well as anime.
What you thought Beastars would be.
Exactly. Oh my god.
The animation looked really sick. I remember seeing the trailer for this and looking at the art, and I thought that it looked really, really cool. But I just wasn't sure after the Beastars let down whether I was going to do that to myself again.
Yeah, I was really hesitant because I was like, I wasted so much fucking time on Beastars.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, do I really want to do it? But then there was no romance tag, so I was like, fuck it, let's go.
There was no romance tag.
Yeah. So those are my 3 anime. I have like another one which I was gonna talk about, but I'm just gonna like briefly talk about it, which is called Decadence, right? So it's an original anime. Okay, there's no manga, and I feel like
what? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it just got animated.
There's no manga. Yeah. And I feel like it's probably the most unique that I've watched. Okay, so there's a massive turn in episode 2 or 3, right? And a lot of people like it, a lot of people hate it. I'm not gonna tell you what. Well, actually, I won't tell you what it is. Okay. But the first episode does turn out to be very, very sick. Like it was like Attack on Titan, Godzilla, with like anti-gravity fights and aliens, right?
Sounds pretty cool.
The general premise is these monsters called the Gadol. They've killed most of humanity, and now society is kind of based off in 2 different factions, gears and tankers. So gears go and kill people. Oh, not people, the monsters.
Tankers. Let's get it.
No, not gankers, tankers.
Oh, tankers.
Yeah.
I thought you said dankers.
No,
I was like, I know what they're doing. Eating a lot of
Go.
crap.
Yeah. And then these tankers are basically at the bottom of society. They're humans, and they're just helping supporting the gears. Yeah.
Oh, tankers makes it sound. Damn.
Wait, tell it. Did they use tanks or not?
No.
Why are they called
The
tankers?
fuck?
It's because they're kind of like at the bottom rungs of this massive
So they tanked it.
movable fortress.
Sucks.
Is that the joke?
I have no idea. I think they just live in a fucking tank, mate, or near a tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the hell?
But episode 2 does turn it upside down. All right. I'm not going to say anything else, but this is probably the most unique one that I've watched. I think all you need to know is that it's not what you expect. Some of you will probably like it. Some of you probably hate it. The director is Yusaru Tachiwaka, who did Mob Psycho. And the writer...
Oh, no way.
Cool,
and the writer is Hiroshi Seko, right? So he also done Mob, but he also done Attack on Titan and Carbonari of the Iron Fortress.
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check. Why didn't you talk about this one at the beginning? Fuck the other ones.
No, because like honestly, I'm not sure how I feel with this one. You know.
Okay, I'm
So far, sounds
right
pretty-
I feel like the other ones that I recommended are solid. Or the ones that I watched are solid. Decadence, I'm still on the fence because I'm not sure how I feel about this massive turn. I'm gonna watch.
Is the main character the orange haired girl?
Yeah. She's actually a
She's
very,
got a
very
nice
good
character
main
design.
character.
Yeah, she's got a good character design.
Yeah, she has one arm
Decadence.
as well, so
Yeah,
it's very
it looks really
unique.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So you follow the story of her and obviously her teacher, um,
yeah.
but I
The
don't want
guy
to
with the
spoil it. But it's not as
goatee, man.
it's not what you think. Okay, yeah,
Dude, it looks really cool actually, just from from the like clip art that I've seen. So I'm gonna have to check this one out.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my anime. Have you guys got any more?
No,
Not that
no.
we haven't already spoken about, but I would be surprised if anything for me was better than Dora. I think for me that was probably my pick of
Yeah.
2020 if I could go back and pick any,
The,
either that or Great Pretender. I'm not sure, but
Oh,
I think
hmm.
Dora edges it for me just because it made me realize I can like 3D anime or CGI anime. Like honestly, that was a game changer for me. I didn't realize I would ever like it. I thought as soon as anime became CGI all,
Hmm.
like I would just not watch anime anymore. And after watching that one, I was like, you know what? Even if they were all CGI, I could do it because I loved that anime so much.
yeah.
Mappa
So
made that,
Okay.
I
right?
think that's why.
Dora.
Pardon?
Was Mappa in charge of Dora?
I think they were.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
mate, you
I
can
think
expect
there's a
good
few others
things.
which I didn't really get around to watching. Inspector Talentless Nana, so they're still on my list. Obviously, I don't have time to watch every single anime, but I'll
Mm.
be watching those. But I do have a news article.
What's your pick?
Okay.
Oh, my pick. My pick would probably be Jujutsu Kaisen.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
pretty good.
know. The thing
It kind
is,
of saved this year for me. I enjoy it. Like it's top notch. Like I
I don't
like
know.
it.
I don't know if you guys have watched the latest episode.
No, I've read ahead in the manga, but
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been
So like,
I've
saving
watched
it
if
like
because
you
I'm
half of it.
watching it with my
if
brother.
you've read ahead, then I guess it's. Have you both read ahead? Or no?
No, no,
Oh
no.
shit. Yeah. Well, I can't. But like, I just feel like in the intro, right? That did you guys
Hmm.
realize that they keep adding the characters that they introduce in the intro
Yeah, I
at the
noticed
end?
that. I actually noticed that. I said because I've been watching it with my brother
Yeah.
and one of our friends, and I was like, "Yo, did you notice that that guy was in the
Yeah.
intro last
Wait,
time?"
is it the one where he's
Because
sitting in a subway?
No, no. You know, at the very end of the intro where they're in the park, and at the very
yeah,
first intro, it was like only four of them,
yeah. Every
and then
time there's
every
a new
time there
character,
was a
there's a new
new
person that sits down with them at the park. Yeah,
Even though for
Oh,
some
okay.
reason I don't know why they had Junpei at the very beginning of the very first intro, they
yeah,
had Junpei from the get go, even though he wasn't
yeah,
even introduced until just a
yeah.
couple
Man, like
episodes ago.
Sasuke. He's basically Sasuke's clone.
But I just feel like they debate like anyone who hasn't read the manga gets debated by watching the intro because you think some of the characters are alive and then they just die like
Yeah,
immediately they die like the granddad,
yeah,
you know
Oh
how I was talking
yes.
about the granddad, right? He died
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah,
fucking episode. It was like,
yeah.
bro,
yeah,
what kind of debate is this? And then this latest
yeah.
episode you get debated again, like big debate. Obviously I knew that it was gonna happen. I was like, what the fuck, man, like so soon? Come on. Are they gonna
Yeah.
Oh
br-
yeah,
are
I
they
think I know who
gonna
you're talking about.
are they gonna bring back or are they not? But so far, they didn't bring back. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like they tied up the loose end and just that's it. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Dropped in
Like
the
they could
ocean.
have been such a great character because in the intro you feel like this character is gonna be there for a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Like they're gonna be part of the squad, but
yeah.
gone in an instant.
Bro, I was just happy when I got to see the fucking panda. Like that's all I
Yeah,
gave a shit
man.
about. I just
Bro, the
wanted to see the
panda, the
panda guy.
panda
Yeah.
like animation, the panda like kind of sort of 3D animation in the intro is so fucking
Yeah, he is.
sick.
Yeah, when he
Yeah,
was running right
Yeah,
on
it's
top of the
when he's doing the
rooftop,
yeah,
I was like,
parkour and shit.
yes.
yeah.
It's
Well, I
so
was like, this
good.
guy's a boss.
He's so sick.
Like it was quite simple, but it was just so cute
It was like so
and
good.
Yeah,
It
cool.
was
but
so
bro,
satisfying to watch that animation in the
yeah,
intro.
in the intro, just the fucking panda
Yeah, I
jumping
was
over
like,
shit, and
yo.
I wanted to see him so bad because I don't know if you guys ever played Tekken,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah,
always
yeah.
used to use the bear and the
Yes,
panda.
yes.
So I was like,
So
I gotta
sick.
see the fucking panda.
But
But yeah, that one was definitely if I had to like I don't know. So I feel like it's edged out right
mm,
now. I think later on it would be in contention with
yeah.
Dorohedoro and
Season one's
um, Great Pretender, but
yeah.
I feel like I just need to get more invested into it. Like it's definitely sick, but it's still it gives me it kind of makes you feel like you've seen it before a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's very shonen.
Give it a couple more episodes, and you might
Yeah,
change.
that's what I think. I think I'll change my tune
Yeah.
when I get farther into
'Cause
the
the-
story, but I think for now I
Yeah,
can't.
the first season
I can't
hasn't
say that it's
finished
better.
yet, even though it's on its 12th episode. I think they're going for a 24 or like 36 episode season, like a long one first.
Yeah.
But like
36 episode first season. That
Oh,
would be
that'd be
fucking
mad.
some of
mad.
the
Yeah.
old ones used to have it, like
To be honest, I don't watch it.
the ones
That's
that
true.
finished.
If it had 36 episodes, I'd just read the manga.
I mean, the manga's not finished yet. The manga's like still going, so that's just the first season, bro. Like, but yeah, Haikyuu's finished as well this season.
Oh, that's true. Haikyuu
Yeah, I
did
watched
finish.
the last episode today. Well, I think next one's gonna be against Nekoma, a whole season again for that.
Here, Ramen, I'll get you a tissue.
But yeah,
Don't cry too much.
I mean, I've read the whole thing. I've read ahead anyway, so
Yeah.
I know what's gonna happen. But it's nice to see the
Nice to see the finale.
yeah.
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 So now I guess it's time for the news article. And I think I have a pretty good news article to round off the year. Right?
Real talk news.
Thank you. It's basically, title is Japan announces Kanji of the Year 2020. Okay?
What?
So if you
What,
didn't...
is that like the letter of the year?
Yeah. So if you didn't know, every single year there's like a really famous shrine. I think it's like Kyoto's Kiyomizudere Temple. It announces a kanji of the year, which is basically what represents that year, and they do it every single year. It's like part of their culture
Oh, okay.
and tradition.
So
What this
Was
one stands
this
for?
year's-
Corona or something like?
No,
What?
no.
What is it?
It's
Pandemic?
never what you expect, right? And the kanji
Okay.
of the year is voted by people around the country.
okay.
And essentially there's always like the head abbot of the temple kind of takes his place before this massive blank board on this famous balcony in the temple, and he has like a very large calligraphy brush, and he literally just draws it out, and that is what deems it as the kanji of the year.
Very
right?
interesting.
That's kind of sick, dude.
Yeah, it's really actually, I think it's a very cool tradition.
It would never work in the
Um,
English alphabet or any Roman
yeah.
alphabets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the kanji of the year 2020 is Mitsu.
Okay.
What does that mean?
So obviously, I know you guys don't know it. But Mitsu is a buzzword that's been going on recently a lot by the government, right? Since the pandemic first took place, right? And it literally means density. Okay. So when
Top population density.
well, kind of, but it's trying to like not be dense, like in areas, right? So
Okay.
when like the rest of the world is kind of using social distancing, in Japan, instead of saying social distancing, what they'd say is avoid the 3 mitsus, right? So 3 densities, or the 3 C's, if you translate it into English. And those 3 C's are basically closed spaces, crowded places, and close contact. So instead of saying do your social distancing, stay in, stay safe, whatever the UK logo was, I don't even remember. Theirs was the 3 mitsus, yeah. So closed spaces, crowded places, and close contact settings. So
nice.
yeah, it's pretty unique, this kind of tradition. I think what's funny is like essentially in the Prime Minister's office, right, in Japan, the Minister of Health, Labor and Welfare, and Tokyo's governor, Yuriko Koyuki, as a way for like people to keep themselves safe while going out as normal, they kind of introduced this saying, right? And because she kind of said Mitsu a lot, the term kind of got coined, and there was even like web browser games called Mitsu Desu that appeared, and it was just like politicians running around like shouting Mitsu.
What the fuck?
So like it's kind of a bit of a meme as well in Japan. Obviously their memes are going to be different from what we have, right? But yeah, there's like literally have a game of her in the city, and she just waves her hands around saying Mitsu des. Okay.
Lol.
Yeah, and obviously it was called into like into action as well. Like we were gonna have the Olympics, right?
Oh, bro.
So
We
then-
were gonna have COVID. We knew about it. We gave it to you.
Yeah, we were gonna
Conspiracy theories.
imagine that. But yeah, we were gonna have like the Tokyo Olympics, right? But then now the whole term or the word for this year is Mitsu. So can you guess any of the other kind of top words that were chosen?
Moving out from dense areas. Something to do with that.
What's the Japanese word for shit?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Describe this year, wouldn't it?
I
Yeah.
watched this like video of like a lot of people starting to like move out and into the countryside from populous
Okay.
areas like Tokyo
Okay.
and like
Yeah.
cities and shit like that. Because obviously
Yeah.
Japan's one of the countries that has a decline in population.
Yeah, in the countryside areas because there's a lot of abandoned
But just
buildings
in
around the
general,
area.
Japanese
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
dying off.
Yeah.
Like they're not increasing, they're decreasing. They're in the minus.
Yeah.
Like
There's more old people than young
are
people.
showing
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that their population is decreasing by the hundreds of thousands every year now, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's always been like a closed off country in a way.
So
Yeah.
odd. It's like I can't get my head around that. But then I guess like they've got such a hard work culture there, where they're like, oh, I need to like work. I don't have time to
Yeah, like family
have
life is kind of
family.
second.
Like, no
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
for family.
What were the other words?
So the second most popular word after density was damage.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
The damage.
And the other ones
Oh,
were disease. Another one was new.
I was right. Disease. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew disease was gonna
No,
be.
another
Bro,
one.
what if the word of the year was disease? Like that's so
Yeah.
off-putting.
Exactly.
2020
Yeah.
disease.
Yeah, it'd just be like everybody knows what happened in 2020
Yep,
in
disease.
Japan in 2020. And a few others were like change, house,
Makes sense.
destruction.
Destruction. Oh,
Yeah,
the
so
fuck happened
apparently
there?
with that destruction one, the kanji makes up the metsu part of Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer, right?
What?
Which took the box
Destruction.
office by storm. So the kanji they used for that was the same one.
Did you just
which was
link
used
that together,
for the
or was
movie.
that linked in the
Okay.
news article?
It was linked in the
Oh
news
my
article.
god! I can't
Yeah,
believe
so
they
it
linked
was the
those.
same. Yeah, it was the same kanji, right?
Well, actually, funny that you mentioned that. I
Oh wait,
read,
wait,
recent.
just a
Okay.
quick one, right? Like with that destruction one, there's another one which is linked to Demon Slayer as well, which is called Just Demon. Yeah,
Demon.
yeah. So
Demon was
that was
word of the year.
yeah, that was another like potential word of the year, and the kanji kind of makes up the key part of Kimetsu no Yaiba.
So what's that? Oh damn.
Yeah, so there was two words which related.
To Demon Slayer. Yeah, I mean we've been talking about how big Demon
Weird.
Slayer is and how much of an impact it's had, and even going as far as having two contenders in word of the year. But what I recently read is that Japanese school children are finding it difficult to read now because they're confusing kanji with Demon Slayer words. So basically, in Japanese, like the letters connect together and they can have various meanings depending on the sentence and things like
Huh.
that. So there's a word that spells out enchu, and it's like en and chu are the two letters that go together to make enchu, and that means column or pillar.
Huh.
And en can mean like circle or money. But then basically the second part, the chu part, is the same as Hashira in Demon Slayer. So the way that they use that word. So they've been reading, and there's different things. So there's like Mizu Bashiro, which means water pillar, which is one of the 9 pillars of
Yeah.
the Demon Slayer corpse. And then there's another one which is En Bashiro, which is flame pillar. And basically what's happened is instead of reading things correctly, they've basically been swapping the letters around to basically be the Demon Slayer version of the letters.
Oh
Yeah.
So
no!
instead of reading like column, they're reading like fire pillar
Oh
and things like that because and then the kids don't understand the sentence, or
Yeah.
they'll use the word in a sentence and be like, I want to be part of the fire pillar, and then the teacher is reading it and being like, you want to be a column?
Oh, well, I mean, kids
So
don't
that's
know
basically
any
what's
better.
happened. Like that's
Oh shit.
They don't know the fact.
that's how much of an
Yeah,
impact.
they don't know
Yeah.
the fact that that's all just fictional words in a way.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
I guess
They're
it's
not
more
real.
of a thing around how hard Japanese is.
Yeah, probably that's more what it's about.
They're
but
also
yeah.
kids. They're just learning, right? So they're watching the stuff and they're thinking, "Oh shit!" Obviously, they're gonna use real words. Like everything's gonna be real
Yeah,
words. They don't
Yeah.
they don't realize that some of the words are just going to be made up for the scene or for that world.
Yeah, and I guess
But
when
it's
we're
just
talking about Demon Slayer, there was actually another similar article that I heard this year,
yeah,
like in the last month or so. It
yeah,
was like a popularity contest of who these kindergarten kids respect the most, like out of 10.
okay,
And like number like 6 or something was dad. Like don't quote me on this,
yeah,
but the dad wasn't really high up.
yeah,
Number
Sucks.
like 2 or 3 was the mother, and number 1 was
yeah.
Kanjiro.
Oh my
So
No way.
so what started happening is
What?
like these
So
demons
the
their
brother.
characters was respected more than actual family members.
God
Bro, Tanjiro is a fucking
damn,
legend.
man. They made Tanjiro
Oh man.
like
Yeah.
I think like we've touched upon how big this anime is, but and the manga, but it's literally like
On another
groundbreakingly
level.
huge. It's like nothing we've ever no one's ever seen something this
every
big.
brother in Japan wants to be Tanjiro now.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah,
brother in
literally.
Japan wants to be
Just watch
Tanjiro.
Bro,
next Halloween how many fucking Tanjiros there's gonna be.
it's not even that. I was gonna say just wait until these kids grow up and start naming their kids Tanjiro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Komodo, fire pillar.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're gonna name them after the different pillars, because it'd be a
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cool name, right? Like, I mean, what was it? What's the word? Hashiro?
Hashira.
Hashira,
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
that
And they have
sounds
like
like a
a
pretty cool
yeah.
name.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I
then
don't know
have
what the hell
different
that
ones
means, but
depending on what type of pillar, like water pillar,
yeah,
fire
and
pillar.
Hashiro or some shit like that. You know, like
Yeah.
sounds like some
But
wrestler's name. What the?
yeah. But I think my word of the year is probably lockdown because that's what I've been
Oh
in
my
for like
god!
the majority of this fucking year.
Yeah.
Have you guys got any
Lockdown.
of your own personal words before we close?
Yeah,
I'd
man.
say probably gaming.
Hermit.
Hermit.
Yeah,
Okay.
bro.
Lockdown
Hermit.
gaming hermit.
Let's go. Yeah, those that
Okay,
pretty much
there we
sums
go.
up.
We've got
That
someone.
definitely
And on
sums
that-
up my year. Being in
Yeah.
lockdown, being at home like a hermit, bro, and in my room all the time, and then gaming. Among Us, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Fair enough.
that's
That's our
what it's
very own
been.
term.
2020. What a year.
I think that's it, right? Have a happy new year.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of 2020 if you're in it, and look
God.
forward to 2021.
2020. What a year, guys.
Catch you next time.
We'll definitely be catching you guys next time. Do follow us on our social medias and like on YouTube, whatever platform you listen to this podcast on. And yeah, look forward to the next episode coming out the same time next week. See you guys in 2021.
Happy New Year.
Peace.